Hello. It's truly good to have you here at Fragments of Stillness, a space for quiet reflection, meaningful pauses, and deep listening. If you're someone who seeks to understand more about life, about yourself, and the human journey, I invite you to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 6 a.m., we share a new reflection to bring light to the paths we often walk in the dark. Take a moment to slow down. Today, we're going to reflect on something that silently shapes us, the value of what is unfinished. We'll talk about incompleteness and why it is not a weakness, but a gateway to life. We live in a culture that glorifies the outcome, the achievement, the polished version of everything. From an early age, we're told we must be ready before we begin. Ready to love, ready to decide, ready to act. As if life were a test with time limits and right answers. As if hesitating or questioning were signs of failure. This constant pressure to be ready often paralyzes us. How many times have we felt inadequate just because we didn't have all the answers yet? Or because we sensed that something was still missing inside? But what if true wisdom doesn't lie in being complete, but in moving forward despite the uncertainty? What if life doesn't ask us to be perfect, but simply asks us to walk, cracks and all? Let me tell you a quiet, simple story that speaks to this truth. A story about a cracked pot and the beauty it unknowingly carried. Fable, the cracked pot. In a distant village, there was an old man who walked to the river every day to fetch water. He carried 2 large pots tied to a wooden pole resting on his shoulders. One pot was brand new and flawless. The other had a visible crack on one side. By the time he returned home, the cracked pot had leaked half its water. Day after day, year after year, this pattern continued. Finally, filled with shame, the cracked pot spoke to the old man. "I'm so sorry. Because of my flaw, you do twice the work and bring home only half the reward." The man smiled gently and replied, "Have you noticed the flowers on your side of the path? I knew about your crack, so I planted seeds there. And every day, as you leaked water, you watered them. Thanks to you, I now have beautiful flowers to brighten my home and to share with my neighbors. If not for your flaw, the path would be barren and colorless." This simple story holds a powerful truth. We spend so much energy trying to hide our flaws, our uncertainties, our perceived inadequacies. We believe we must be more complete, more confident, more resolved before we can contribute something meaningful. But what if it's precisely our cracks that allow something beautiful to grow? What if the parts of us we try to fix or silence are the very channels through which life flows most authentically? The cracked pot didn't realize that, through its slow leaking, it was nurturing beauty along the path. In the same way, we don't always see what blooms from our vulnerabilities, what kindness, creativity, or depth might grow out of the very places we feel broken. There is quiet power in accepting that we're not finished, yet still choosing to move. There is depth in admitting we don't have all the answers, and still daring to act. Incompleteness is not a flaw in the design of life. It is the invitation to transform and to keep becoming. So often we put life on hold, waiting for the ideal moment. We tell ourselves we'll love when we're healed. We'll begin when we're certain. We'll act when the path is clear and safe. But that perfect moment rarely arrives. And when it does, it's often too late. Life does not require us to be ready. It only asks us to be present. You don't need to have everything figured out to start building something meaningful. You don't have to feel whole to take the first step. And above all, you do not need to be perfect to be worthy of love, of hope, of a fresh beginning. We are all works in progress, and the beauty of incompleteness is that it keeps us open to change, to learning, to blooming, even in uncertain soil. If this reflection spoke to something inside you, please like the video and share it with someone who might be feeling pressured to have it all together. And tell us in the comments, have you ever put your life on hold while waiting to be ready? Or have you seen something beautiful come from your own unfinished places? Subscribe to Fragments of Stillness for more reflections like this, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 6 a.m. Life does not demand perfection. It only asks for presence. And maybe, just maybe, that's more than enough.